Just a quiet little RV park out here in the countryside of Oklahoma City.
Well, we're checked into our campground here in Oklahoma City, and we are just 10 minutes from our friends John and Aaron, and we are close to the airport. Our son Jaron is coming in a couple of days to visit with us, and we are close to a church that we want to visit on Sunday. So you know what? Even though this park is right next to the highway and it is super loud, like the loudest we have experienced yet, it's not about the park, it's about what's near the park. Sometimes you just make trade-offs, and this time we're only here for 4 days, and we're looking to do a lot of things and see some people that we dearly love, and we've been excited to come here and do all these things. So this park is just fine for our needs for this week. First time I've ever seen a complimentary basket of ribs at a restaurant instead of bread. Look at that. We're heading down into downtown Oklahoma City with our son Jaron, who's visiting for the week. And we're coming down to the Bricktown area. There's a little river walk here along a canal. I guess there's some restaurants and shops, and it's a good walking area that we've heard. So we're just gonna walk around for the afternoon. We're parked in the Bass Pro parking lot, and I just noticed on geocaching.com that there's a little geocache right in the parking lot. And when Jaron was little, he was a master at finding geocaches. So we're gonna see if he's still got the stuff.
Do it.
I don't have a pen.
Well,
See if there's one in there.
It's a terrible geocaching.
Nope. That's okay. I'll log it online.
No. This isn't a real one. That's not a real one. A real one is you put your foot on a log.
Yeah.
And it cracks open.
That's right. A real one is when you put your foot on a log and it cracks open.
Opening the license plate on a car abandoned in the middle of the woods and reaching into what was the old gas tank area and pulling one out. Those are real geocaches. That's an actual one.
All right, let's check out Bass Pro Shops for fun.
Did you teach your friends to Okay. You're a good son in so many ways.
It's one of those trick candles that keep you lighting it. So for
Six sons.
Happy birthday, Jaron.
Happy birthday, son. I don't know.
Now?
No.
are we at? Here we are. This is a beautiful private park called Catherine's Landing. This is where they're having the Van Lee rally. We see lots of Villanos and beacons already. We love this blue-gray beacon full body paint. So pretty. Go ahead, Jaren. Extend the galley.
Alright, Jared, squish it in.
I think we found one.
The warm steam coming out of it. Up here you get a good face full. It's kind of a
Because it
blustery
is
day.
not warm here. Yeah, I'll take a picture, yeah.
It's a good face full. It's kind of coming out of there because
Yeah,
I'm sure it's filling in there a little bit. That whole thing's been heated up down here. Yeah, stand over here.
It's really warm.
The most, actually. This is the spot right here. If you want the
Your glasses are open.
nice.
Hot Springs is actually a national park. It's one of the smallest national parks, and the historical part of the city of Hot Springs is actually within the park, so it's pretty unique that way. Within this historic part of the city is Bathhouse Row. These 8 bathhouses were built in the early 1900s as a way to harness the hot springs water and open them up to the public for public bathing. Before that, there were several natural hot springs that flowed down from Hot Springs Mountain, and people would just come and sit on the edges and dip their feet in. The hot water comes from ancient rainwater that has flowed deep into the ground, and as it flows toward the center of the earth, it gets heated. Then it bubbles back up to the surface in springs. On average, the water arriving at the surface is about 143 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, that's for real hot.
Super hot. Some of them are too hot to sit in.
Yeah, that's like 110, 115 degrees. Yeah, that's hot.
People have been bathing in these springs since the early 1800s, but in 1921 it was designated as a national park. The individual springs were capped to prevent contamination of the waters and to reroute the flows into the newly built bathhouses. Today, all 8 bathhouses are still standing, although only 2 of them still operate as bathhouses. Quapaw Baths is a more modern spa with communal public pools of different temperatures. And Buckstaff Bathhouse, with the blue awnings here, has been preserved as it was in the early days with original equipment and a more historical experience. I think you have to book a private tour there and then you move from room to room and use different equipment or something. The other buildings have been turned into different things. One is the National Park Visitor Center, which was closed for COVID while we were there, and some are restaurants or private clubs. I love how they've preserved the original bathhouse tiles and floors though, like in this brewery. We stopped in here for a little snack. So we're waiting for our hot springs time. We had to get on a waiting list and it's first come, first serve here. This is the only public bathhouse in Hot Springs where you can just come and sit in a communal pool. You don't have to make a reservation for a private room. So there's quite a long wait line here today. We've been waiting for about an hour and I think we are 2 away from being on the list. But the thing is that people can stay in the pools as long as they want. There's no time limit. So we kind of have to wait until someone decides to leave. There's no set time when we can go in, and she couldn't really tell us how long the wait was, but hopefully not too much longer. But make sure if you come to the hot springs that you bring your own flip-flops, because if you don't, you're going to have to buy some here for $7. But you have to have rubber or plastic shoes to go into the spring.
In addition to the hot springs baths that you can sit in, the town of Hot Springs also has public springs that you can come and fill your water jugs at. And when we were at the bathhouse, they had some of this drinking water, spring water that we were able to try, and it doesn't taste minerally at all, not any sulfur, it just tastes like great fresh spring water. So we brought some jugs over here to the Happy Hollow fountain and we're gonna fill them up now. Beautiful day here in Hot Springs, and we are coming down to the Garvin Woodland Gardens. We've heard this is a must-see in the area. Botanical gardens with some lovely structures to see in there, so we're going to explore it today. This is the Garden of the Pine Wind. It's a 4-acre Japanese garden, and the paper says that it's ranked as the 5th best Japanese garden in North America, whatever that means, but it certainly is peaceful and beautiful here. Thanks for watching our adventures in Hot Springs this week. Hope you got some ideas for your visit to Hot Springs. It's a lovely area. I would definitely come back here. And next week, we are going to the Van Lee Owners Rally. That's the reason we came here in the first place, but I wanted to do just a video dedicated to the rally. We had a great time, met some great people, had a lot of fun. So we'll see you then. Bye.